Hello, so it's another food talk today because diet seems to overrule everything when it comes to topics to discuss. And today's going to really be, I swear a lot of the topics I say do cover each other, but a lot of the time you won't be scrolling through my old episodes or they're set in a different light. So this one is going to be once again on starting a new journey and expecting too much too soon. For example, saying, it's week 1 and I've already stuffed up, I feel down on myself. It's like you're expecting week 1 to actually be something that you should be able to stick to because, hey, it's week 1. How can I stuff up already? But it's honestly the other way around. The fact that it's week 1 is why it's actually harder. Okay, if you have that super motivation to just make everything perfect and put all your eggs into one basket and just smash it out, and then at the end of the week you accidentally slip up or something, that's okay. And you didn't fail. If anything, you did freaking well. If you recognized it, admitted it, and didn't deny it. Anytime you slip up, anytime you do not stick to plan the exact way that it's written, you cannot keep denying it. I know girls who continue to deny that they do not follow their plan to a T. They still slip things in here and there, or they swap things, or they fit in a glass of wine or a beer or something like that and act like they never added it in, either because they're in denial or because they're literally oblivious to the fact that they just did not stick to plan. Being able to recognize it is a major step forward, and you should be so proud of yourself for it. But at the same time, don't expect week 1 to be super easy for everyone, because it really isn't. For most people, it's the absolute hardest week because you're needing to implement new habits. You're needing to try and swap out old habits or completely kill off old habits, which is the hardest thing you can do. Actually killing off bad habits is pretty close to impossible in a short time frame. Even in a medium time frame, it's really, really freaking hard because you just spent however many years of your life embedding that habit into your head. The next best thing to do is to try and replace it, not to completely kill it off. Because the reason why that habit's still there is because it has to be serving us in some way or another without you consciously realizing. So the only way to crush those bad habits is to replace them with the habit that you want to enforce. So if your first week of getting onto a new diet plan, your first week of deciding you want to do comp prep, or your first week of going into a calorie deficit, it's actually so much freaking harder than you realize. Calorie deficits, when you're not in a deficit, you're so used to not needing to track every single little thing that you eat, because somehow it just makes up for it, or your body is able to process or adapt to just that little bit of food much better. Probably you'd accompany it with more activity or whatever, but when you're in a deficit, it is so much harder to accommodate to anything extra, and every single lick, bite and chew counts, especially if you're a female, especially if you're small like myself. People that are female and small and with little muscle mass might actually find themselves dieting on 1,200 calories. Hell, if you're trying to get to crazy levels of leanness, you might even be dieting on 1,000 calories. It's actually not rare to see, especially if you're 5 foot. You may find yourself on 1,000 calories. And every little freaking bite, lick, chew, even adding in an apple extra into your day They all add up, and they can all take you out of a deficit, because the body is so freaking adaptive, which is why you need to plan and plan and plan in advance. And if you want to do a bloody comp prep, you need to make sure that you're starting on the right foot with big enough leeway to move with calories. And if it's not comp prep, if it's just you dieting, it's pretty much the same thing. Like, you want to be able to have a basket to take your calories from, for starters. And you also want to be able to be psychologically ready to put yourself into a deficit, and to psychologically be able to cut out the environments that are detrimental to your goals. And by that, I mean, if your kids freaking love junk food, try and replace, like, you can be such a healthy influence as a parent by replacing some foods in your family pantry, by cooking healthier versions of food for your household. Like, there are so many ways that you can be such a great influence to your kids and to the rest of the family that can serve you in the long run. But then again, there's the work environment, which you can't really control either. So if you think about the work environment, there's probably going to be snacks in the kitchen, or people might say, oh, do you want one of these, do you want one of them? And you're so used to saying yes that it's a habit that's really hard to cut down on. So your first week isn't meant to be super easy. It's, to me, when clients sign up with me, I usually say, the first week doesn't start the first week you're with me. Your check-ins will be the following week, because this week is just literally all about habits. No expectations, just get in the right mindset and get focused on forming habits. And then we will do your check-ins the following week. Because having so high of expectations and feeling so pressured to be perfect can be so detrimental in the first week. And if you expect everything to go perfectly, you may even feel embarrassed or scared to admit that you did a little slip up, and you might just keep slipping. So the first step is acknowledgement and actually facing up to anything that you need to face up to, because that is a major step ahead in itself. And, like, realize the mini steps, the mini goals. So say that you just killed a week and your weekend's the downfall. Well, hey, you just did 5 amazing days. What can you do to make your weekends better? What is it that made you slip up on the weekend that can make it something that is successful for you in the future? It might be taking your days off from the gym on weekdays and training on the weekends, so that you still have the same routine of waking up, of prepping, or make one of your days still the same, like, routine of waking up, blah, 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 but instead of going to work or to the gym, you go to do your grocery shopping, or you just go out for a long walk. I actually encourage cardio to be done on, like, the weekends, to get out of the house, to get yourself into the same habit, the same routine, to make it easier for you. I always encourage a rest day or 2 rest days. Definitely 1 day away from the gym. But every single thing that you do, the most important thing is doing what makes you adherent and consistent to your goals. That is the most important thing. So if that means you need to go and do cardio on the weekend, if that means you have to actually take yourself to the gym to walk on a friggin' treadmill to do cardio, then do that. But if you can find a way to do it outside of the gym in nature, then that is a positive. So I hope this little ramble helped, and if you have any other topics you want me to talk about, Any other questions, let me know, and I will be so happy to cover it for you.